James Lynch here from MiddleEasy. Happy to be joined by Jingliang, who will be taking on Khamzat Chimaev at UFC 267 on October 30th. Lee, how are you, sir?
非常好，非常好, very good.
Yeah, I'm doing very good.
That's great to hear. Just tell me how excited you were to get this fight. A lot of fighters wanted to fight Khamzat Chimaev, and you ended up getting the fight.
也没有多激动，我觉得这东西
Yeah, I'm not that excited because I think if I stay ready, the opportunity can come naturally, so I don't have to push to capture the opportunity.
Were you surprised that you got to fight him only because he was linked to a fight with Leon Edwards and now he's fighting yourself? Edwards is ranked a lot higher. Was this a surprise getting this matchup?
Yeah, he only did 3 matches in the UFC. I think there was the weight took bigger step for him to, I think, directly challenge the Leon Edwards. So I think he should do step by step. This is how this is all the young mixed martial artists should face. And we all need to study and pay attention to him, and all the fans, all the fans cheer to him. It's very good.
We haven't seen you compete since January. I know there's been travel restrictions because of COVID-19. Was that the reason you couldn't take a fight? Was because you couldn't get over to North America? Why haven't we seen you fight since January?
Yeah, the travel restriction was a small part of my reasons, because I want to spend more time with my family. The fight before the last fight, the one in Las Vegas, I had a very hard time traveling to the United States, and then I moved to Abu Dhabi to do my last fight. And when I go home, there was a Spring Festival of China, so I want to spend more time with family. That was the main reason.
We obviously know that Khamzat Chimaev has a lot of passionate fans, online. Have you felt any blowback? Have there been any fans, Khamzat Chimaev fans, coming after you on social media or writing any negative comments?
I actually didn't pay much attention on the social media, but I think I like it. It's better if I have more people leaving comments on me. I like it.
Okay.
I don't mind all the trash talk. Pressure is my motivation.
Absolutely. That sounds great. Style-wise, how do you feel like you match up against Chimaev in this fight? We know he's a great grappler. He's got good stand-up. How do you feel like you match up against him in this fight?
Yeah, we know that he's a more grappler and I'm a striker, but this is mixed martial arts. Anything can happen. Yeah, people know that Chimaev will take me down and I will try to knock him out. This is MMA. Anything can happen.
Do you feel like he does deserve all the credit he's been getting after just 3 UFC fights?
Because this is the international world. He paid his effort. I think he deserves it.
How much do you think him getting COVID-19 and nearly retiring will impact him in this fight? Because, there was a point where we thought he wasn't going to fight again, and now he's fighting, but he obviously had a pretty bad case of COVID.
I personally don't think the COVID impact him that much, because I have seen many UFC athletes, they recover from the COVID and they perform very well in the UFC. And he chose to come back to the octagon. That proves that his physical condition recovered pretty well. Before you defeat your enemy, you have to defeat yourself.
Who have been some of your main training partners for this camp heading into the fight?
Yeah, this time I choose to stay in Shanghai, the UFC Performance Institute, to prepare for the competition. I didn't go to the other countries because the travel restrictions. Yeah, we have a new team of very good grapplers, wrestlers, strikers, coaches, training partners. We have training partners from my top teammates. We have other UFC fighters helping me. So it's a really good fight camp, and I believe I will bring a very excellent performance in the octagon. And everyone knows that Chimaev is a very tough guy. So I have been preparing very, very hard, and I'm trying to fix my mistakes to make my advantage more stronger. So I cannot wait to this fight. Yeah, so my faith this time is whether I kill the wolf or I get eaten by the wolf.
Well said. Did you bring anyone in specifically to train for Chimaev? Did you bring in any other training partners specifically for his style?
Of course. Before you win someone, you have to 100% know him. So I have my teammates copying his style and trying to imitate his moves, and we have even more stuff beyond all that, his style. And each training session, we have 7 to 8 people just doing the work for me.
Great. And just last thing on training camp, who are some of the UFC fighters you get to train with? You mentioned that you train with UFC fighters. Who are some of the names that you get to work with?
Yeah, we have like 4 China top team fighters. They are top tier MMA fighters in China, and we have UFC fighters, Song Kenan, who is also a welterweight division, and I have Weili Zhang, and he's also competing in the UFC 267.
How long is the flight from Shanghai to Abu Dhabi for you? As a Canadian, my geography is not very good. I was just curious how long of a travel time it is for you to go from Shanghai to Abu Dhabi.
Like say 7 hours.
Oh, wow. Okay.
6 or 7 hours.
That makes sense. Who's going to be making the trip with you as far as your cornerman? Who's flying out with you for the fight?
Yeah, because for the fighters wise, we have Weili Zhang fight with me together, so we will go together. And my coach is my head MMA coach, my striking coach, my grappling coach, my wrestling coach, my training partner. So we have a very big team. Just for me, we'll have 6 people coming with me.
Great. Okay, that's good. And what's your prediction for the fight? How do you see the fight playing out on October 30th?
There are 2 ways. The fight might go to the decisions, or we maybe finish each other. But I think for more percentage-wise, will be a finish.
Where do you feel like a win over Chimaev puts you in the division?
I might remain the same position, but more people will be paying attention on me.
Chimaev and all the hype that he has, do you not think that would actually propel you up higher in the rankings? Because a lot of people feel like Chimaev is unbeatable.
I'm not sure about that yet, because I know that Chimaev doesn't have a rank right now, and maybe move up one place or not. I'm not sure, but all the fans, or the UFC, or all the organization will witness it. So I'm not sure yet, but I know people will start to recognize me. It doesn't matter how other people see me, but I know what I'm doing. That's the most important.
Did you happen to watch the UFC 266 card last night? Did you happen to see the event?
Yeah, of course. There was a UFC event in Suzhou, China. We promote the fight. And I commented in the main event and interact with the fight.
How is it doing commentary?
Yeah, all the people I predict to win, they won in the main event.
So did you happen to see the Robbie Lawler and Nick Diaz fight yesterday? Did you happen to see the result or catch up on the highlights?
Yeah, the fight is really great. I think the fight between Robbie Lawler and Nick Diaz is not about the fight itself, it's the spirit. Especially, I think for Nick Diaz, he hasn't been fighting for like 6 years. This time he returned with very good physical condition. I think his spirit is admired by me.
Interesting. Do you think Nick will fight again, Nick Diaz?
Yeah, I think that Nick Diaz didn't fight the best of himself this time, so I think he will return and show himself to the fullest. Even though he lost, but all they really love him. Everyone loved Nick Diaz.
There's another big fight in your division coming up, actually very soon. We have the Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington rematch. How do you think that fight plays out for the welterweight title?
Yeah, I think Usman remains the champion.
Do you think he'll finish Covington again?
Yeah, probably yes.
Speaking of title fights, how happy were you to see Weili Zhang get her rematch against Rose Namajunas?
I personally hope Weili could win the title. And last fight, Weili wasn't ready. She made a mistake and she just got finished. I think this time she will be more prepared and she won't make that mistakes.
Did you watch the Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley boxing fight? Did you watch that?
Yes.
What did you think of Tyron Woodley's performance against Jake Paul?
I think Woodley should perform better. Maybe it's issue about his technique, or maybe he has some issue about his cardio. I don't know, but I thought he would.
What are some of your hobbies outside of mixed martial arts? Are you a fan of any other sports, or what are some of the things you enjoy outside the cage?
Yeah, besides mixed martial arts, I like cars, like all the cars, and I love farming. Right now is the season to catch all the crops. It's a season to I hope all the farmers in China have a good fruit.
Okay, great. And you mentioned cars. Do you own any exotic cars or anything? You mentioned being a fan of cars. Is there any interesting cars that you own?
Yeah, I don't the exotic cars, but I just love the cars.
Just want to thank both of you so much for joining me here. I really appreciate it. If there's anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media you want to plug, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, I want to thank firstly Migu and UFC that have such a good training place in Shanghai, and I want to thank my sponsors. It's called 氧气能量 Oxygen Power, and the very good friend of my Li Ning, China. The brand helped me a lot.